Welcome back to Naomi's Scrappy DIY Retreat. I appreciate you so much for joining me. We are going to be doing 3 fun garlands using Dollar Tree and Walmart items today, and so I just can't wait to get started. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. Please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way, every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. For those of you who our returning subscribers, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you will look in the description box below and find the items needed so that you can craft this along with me. So let's go ahead and get started with the first DIY. It was very simple. These are the items I bought. I bought them from the Dollar Tree. Now I have to say, yes, the garland is $5.98, but with that garland, there are a ton of beads. Like, it's 12 foot long. I didn't even use half of the beads. As you can see, there's a lot of beads in that container, and I still had a lot left over. So all you're going to do, I actually took all of the beads off of that string, reused the string because it has a hanging end on it, and I used 12 beads. I put 12 beads from the beginning. Then I just put one of those little gnomes on the back. I tied them, and I'll show you that in the next couple frames, and then I hot glued that tie, and then I just continued the process. 12 beads, another gnome. One gnome is black, one gnome is white, so of course I just interchanged those. But I just tied it loosely, and then I made that really tight against the gnome hat, and then I tied it. In the next frame you'll see it again. I tied it again really tight, and again, like I said, I used hot glue, and then I snipped off the end of the excess of that hanging rope that you see. So this is what it looks like hanging up. And again, there's 12 beads in between each gnome, and I think it ended up being maybe like 4 or 5 feet long for this gnome, and I just really like it. This is the little cute little black gnome, and this is the cute little white gnome, and again, this is a very long strand of beads, and I have a ton of beads left. Now, I left it like it was. You could distress these beads, like dry brush them with a little bit of white. The gnomes are very bright white and the beads are not, but I'm okay with that. I think it is just super cute. Like, my pictures and my camera, it's not really the camera, it's the lighting I have in my location, really do not do it justice. So I hope that you like this and made it. And it's super easy. Because I bought 2 packages of the gnomes, there are 8 gnomes. I only use 7, which means I have a cute little gnome for something else later on. I'm not sure yet what, but it is super cute. So I love them. And they're only $1.98. Which, yes, it's $1.98, but I thought it was worth it. They're 50 cents a piece. So, and I didn't have to make them. So again, just a cute little way to use something from Walmart. And see how I used the end, and I just retied it, and then I shoved the end of the retie in through those beads so that way you wouldn't see them. So again, I repurposed everything I could. That way I didn't have to use anything else. So now on to the DIY number 2. Again, we're using another garland. Most of these, actually all of the items, are actually from Dollar Tree. So let's look at the items that we have. Except for the paint, which is Deco Art from Walmart, and I think it's cherry red. It's hard for me to see that right now. But all I did was I painted the fronts and the backs of those Mary signs onto that you get at the Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of 5. I had actually pre-painted one previously for something else that I had showed you on here, and then I decided to reuse them in this garland. I had actually decided that's kind of what I wanted to do to begin with, but I wasn't exactly sure. You're also going to need 2 different types of jutes. One, the thicker one I use for the hanging, the thinner one I use for hanging the Mary signs, and then you're just going to need one of those Dollar Tree I can't think what they're called, Christmas ties, and then just some pit berries. And then again, I just used the Dollar Tree, like, it's not a stencil brush, it's like more like a chip brush. They come in a pack of 3, and I just coated all the fronts, all the sides, all over. And I had to show that because I thought that was cute. Like, when I got done stippling, it just left a cute little Mary sign, and I thought, if I had been a little bit more careful, I could have probably cut that out and used that. So that's just another little idea for you for later. That way you're not wasting something else. I know it seems a little silly, but that's what I don't know. I try to like to reuse whatever I can. So here I just folded over the paper because I coated the front and the back, and I just wanted you to see again for the white, I'm dry brushing the Waverly white chalk on it, and this is the finished product. And the one up in the top left is the one I had used for a previous project. So I just wanted you to see kind of what it looked like. Now I'm going to kind of walk you through hopefully what I did for these. I just took and I didn't show you a picture of this, but I cut down that little tie and it makes such a mess. Oh my goodness, such a mess. But I cut it down and then I cut them in about 1-inch little pieces. I took the two and I crisscrossed them, and I have my little frames flopped, so I apologize for that. And then I just added some berries to the center of those V's. And again, all I did was I crossed them, made a V, and then added some berries into that. And then what you're going to see in the next frame, sorry, I had to stop that for a second because I don't have any water with me and I kind of got a little hoarse. All I did was I tied some of the jute around the E part, because you're going to notice now when you've added that, the weight's going to be a little bit distributed a little bit better. I just tied that at the top, and then I also tied the two ends of the long jute. I should have put that frame first, but that way you have something to hang up this garland when you're done. So I just tied that off really quick. I didn't even hot glue it. It was nice and easy. Then up above that first tie I did another cute little quick tie, and you'll see why I did that in a little bit. And then all I did was then the two little sections that are again up at the top, I just divided everything in half and again tied that off a little bit, and I left a little bit of the jute. I cut off some of it, but I left part of that because I'm adding a buffalo check ribbon little bows to that, and I just wanted something extra for those little bows to hang on to. And I thought I had a better picture, but I guess I do not. So this is just it hanging up on the wall. And again, it is so stinking cute, but these pictures do not really do it justice. So I hope that you do that. This is a little bit better. You can kind of see what the Mary looks like with the little jute bow on it. And then I just added two oh my goodness, buffalo check bows right where you hang it up at the end. That way you can kind of see, it just kind of adds some decoration where you're going to hang it up at. And I really like this. It's just simple, it's cute, and I think it's really neat. So if you like this, let me know. If you were able to make this, or if you would have done something a little different, please let me know in the description below. I am always open to new suggestions. And again, these are just a suggestion, some way that a starting point for you. Sometimes I just need a starting point, and then I just like, my mind goes all over the place. So let's get on to DIY number 3, the last garland, and I think this is my favorite. So you will have to let me know in the description below which of these garlands were your favorite, whether it was the first one, the second one, or the third one. These are just the items that you're going to need. Those snowflakes are from Walmart, but there are, I think, 10 in the pack, and the garland is nice and long, and I'm using all of it. So just dovetail the ends of burlap. I don't remember where I got this burlap originally from, but I do love it. This ribbon is actually from the Dollar Tree. So I just hot glued it in the center and on the two ends, over top of some of twine that I had tied around the middle. Now this is what the garland looks like, and it unravels. No, you can untie it very easily, and it has little round hooks at the top, which is amazing because that's what I ended up using to hang it up with. And as you can see, it unties very easily. So I just took all 7. I used 7 of these. I took all 7 of them off of the piece of string, and then I'm going to end up using some of that string later on, and I'll show you later what it's for. And again, I just took some of the jute twine and tied the little snowflake on to little sections. And I just gathered these up in little sections. Again, I used 7 of them. So I just kind of try to distribute it as evenly as possible. And then this Dollar Tree bow is actually, sorry, it's not Dollar Tree, it's Dollar General. And I cut the bow in half and then made my own tiny little bow with a little jute string. And as you can see, I tied it in the front and then tied it in the back. And I thought I had a couple different pictures showing this process. And I think I did, but I must have reversed the order of what I put them on here. So I apologize. See, again, this is me making the bow. This was after I'd already cut it in half and I dovetailed the ends of it and I just folded it over. That's all I did. So I'm sorry. Somehow I missed a couple photos of the process. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the in the comment section below, because I would be more than happy to help. Again, this was another very simple, very easy project. So I'm hoping by these pictures you can tell kind of what it looks like. It is so super cute. These photos actually are much better than what the first 2 photos were like. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Let me know. Again, let me know in the comments below which was your favorite. And you know what? Let's do something fun. If you made it to the end and you are hearing this, put a snowflake emoji down below in the comments. Thank you so much for actually making it all the way through these videos. I know sometimes I can stumble over my words, and I apologize so much for that. But again, thank you. For those of you who are subscribed and continue to come back and watch, thank you so much for your continued watching, your continued viewing, and just being a part. I hope that you will like these. If you are not subscribed, please hit the little subscribe button and the little notification bell and just become a part of this community. It really helps a lot if you give it a thumbs up or if you share it. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful, blessed day and be a blessing to someone else.